that live link from what is happening at the Milimani Law Courts.
We answered yes, and we'd like the bail to be reduced.
All right, that case of Sarah Wairimu, the wife to the late Dutch tycoon Tob Cohen, is expected to happen this morning, anytime from now. Let's link up with investigative reporter Brian Obuya, who's already at the Milimani Law Courts, following up on this happenings. Brian Obuya, at what time do you expect the case to begin? Because so far I can see the lawyer of the family of the late tycoon Tob Cohen in court.
Well, Brenda, it's good to speak to News Center this morning, and the criminal division right now is being handled by Justice Stella Mutuku, and it's difficult to understand whether indeed Sarah Wairimu is going to take a plea to take a plea to the charges that have been leveled against her, that charge of murder, whereby she's being accused of killing her husband, Tob Cohen, who went missing a few months back, only for his body to surface in an underground water tank some Friday. So that is what we are waiting for. We've seen the lawyers representing both parties have been here. I have personally seen Sarah Wairimu within the precincts of this court with her lawyer, Philip Morgor, a while ago. I've also been able to see other lawyers, including Cliff Ombeta, who are handling that matter. But what I cannot report on right now is whether or not that case is going to kick off, because we have not been made aware whether Justice Jesse Lasit is around today. We've seen Justice Stella Mutuku, and it's more likely that she could handle the matter. But again, it's more likely she could again refer the matter back to the judge who was handling it, that is Justice Jesse Lasit. Let me just take you back a little bit and paint for you a picture of where we've been, where we are right now. Even as we wait for Sarah Wairimu to see whether she's going to take plea in this matter, it's important to remember that the widow of Tob Cohen is probably one of the suspects in police custody who has had a number of rounds of application to freedom in the recent past. We saw her attending the burial of the husband just the other day. We saw her attending the post-mortem, and a lot of intrigues have been surrounding this particular matter. Remember last time the court gave a judgment, rather an order, a restraining order against the media, in what I may as well just call it a gag order on the media to stop reporting on the progress of investigations and the alleged evidence that exists or that alleged to exist in the Tob Cohen case. We saw Justice Jesse Lasit say that the media should restrain from that, and that the parties involved should again restrain from addressing the media on those particular grounds. That appeared to have been a blow to the media, given that there were a lot more other things that the media could not engage in reporting of that matter. But even then, we saw a string of letters, a string of addresses that appeared to connect to that matter. The media was also confused on whether or not to report on the post-mortem, because the order that Justice Jesse Lasit gave in court and that which was actually published were two different things. Justice Jesse Lasit said in court that the media should stop reporting on investigations and the alleged evidence in the matter. But what was published actually added one more other line, whereby the order went on to say that we should not report on alleged evidence, we should not report on the status of investigations or any other information. Any other information, the media was thrown in between, understanding whether that includes the court proceedings, whether that includes the post-mortem results, whether that includes the burial. So the media has been there in between, in that wave of confusion given those particular orders. We also saw a clip of Sarah Cohen during the burial of the late husband, when she actually claimed that the killers of her husband were actually at the burial. That's what she said in that short clip that has been doing rounds on social media. It's still not clear who recorded that video. It's not clear who shared it on social media, with social media or in the media circles. It's also not clear what the intentions of that clip has been, given that the reason the judge wanted the media to stop reporting on this matter was actually to stop the public prosecution of a matter that whose final decision would be made by the court. So it's actually not clear that yet who shared that clip and what the intentions of it were. We also saw other things going on. We saw the letter by Advocate Philip Morgor to instructing that the OCS conduct investigations, reporting a threat he had received from one Patrick Moirori, saying that Patrick Moirori had used some derogative language and promised to deal with him outside the burial, in which he considered to have been a threat into that matter. We don't know where all that began, but we know where it has ended. It has culminated in that letter to police, asking them to make some sort of investigation into the alleged threat to the lawyer, Philip Morgor. So that is the matter we are continuing to follow up on.
All right, Obuya, it's good you've given a chronology of events of what has been happening, but a quick question. Then it looks like all parties have gone against the judge's decision, because I remember Lady Justice, Jessila said that the media cannot cover and report on that murder case that's ongoing, and the prosecution and the defense team were not supposed to address the media. But of late, we've seen lawyers from both sides, the family of the late Cohen and the lawyer of Sarah Wairimu, addressing the media.
Brenda, what I would tell you is that the lawyers have been very careful on what they address the media on, because the original order the judge gave in court, which was actually on tape and on live TV, was that the media should stop reporting on the state of investigations and the alleged evidence that the evidence that alleges to exist in this particular matter. That was the order, and the lawyers have actually not been. The lawyers have not commenting on the investigations. They have not been commenting on the evidence that alleges to exist. They've been commenting on these other matters. It shows that to some extent they also got to some level of confusion too, just like us, because the published order, which takes precedence, actually barred all parties from commenting on anything. This will actually mean that it may actually be wrong for us to cover the court proceedings. And I remember even when that order was given, you were the one in studio, Brenda, and I remember we had to cut short the broadcast that very morning because we did not immediately understand what that particular order by the judge meant, and it went further to confuse us when the published order was different from what was given in court verbatim. That is where we've been in these few days. But whether or not any parties have contradicted the order of the judge, we may also wait to see what has been her observation about the particular matter. But the reason the judge actually wanted that matter to stop being reported in the media and that the parties to stop commenting on it is that the parties had started prosecuting the matter in the media. The DCI spoke about it, calling it was a gruesome murder. Top Cohen's lawyers also spoke about the matter. We saw Sarah Wairimu's lawyer also joining the wagon and defending the client. And then we also saw the arrest of Peter Karanja, who again, his lawyers again. So it became an open field of prosecution. The court of public opinion was fed with everything that they had to choose on who is guilty and who is not, which is very disadvantageous, disadvantageous for for a court of law or for the suspects that exist in the case altogether.
All right. So, Obuya, as we speak right now, because even what we have on our screen are just live pictures from the Milimani Law Court, so clearly it looks like we'll might, not continue with that coverage. So, does it mean that even the media, because I know right now you're at the Milimani Law Courts, you will not cover today's session should Sarah Wairimu appear in court to take play?
We are going to cover today's session, Brenda. We are going to cover today's session because, like I've told you, that we've seen even other media. The media has been very selective on how it's covering this matter. We've had other media houses covering every other aspect of this particular matter. We've had other media houses which have taken a step back from covering the matter. The reason being, it's not like anyone is defying whatever orders. It's because the order the court gave, that gag order Justice Jesse Lesit gave, which we actually, some of us took issue with it, was not exactly clear, especially because what she said in court and what was actually published were two separate things. We understood that what was said in court would mean that we can only cover what is presented in court. But what was published in the end would actually meant that any other information about this case could not be disseminated by the media. So it's also one of the things we are waiting for clarification from the judge or from the court. And like I've told you, I haven't seen Justice Jesse Lesit. I've seen the lawyers of all the parties. We've seen Justice Stella Mutuku. Justice Stella Mutuku is also part of the judges in the criminal division. She may as well handle this matter, or she may again push it back to Justice Jesse Lesit. And I know, Brenda, maybe you are running out of time, but allow me to tell you this. Today, we were also expecting, apart from Sarah Wairimu taking plea on whether or not she actually killed the husband, we were again waiting for the court to hear her bail application today. So if this matter by any chance is not heard today, is not presented in court today, then it would actually come out to mean that Sarah Wairimu could actually spend some more other days in police custody, because the application for her bail is supposed to be is presented today, and maybe the court making a decision on the same today. So it could actually be another disadvantage to the accused person, given that she also has, and any other suspects, of course, have rights to bail and of course, a fair trial altogether. So we are waiting to see if Justice Jesse Lesit will be in court, or if Justice Stella Mutuku is going to take over this matter, or she's going to handle part of it, which may include bail alone. We are not exactly sure yet. We can't confirm whether she's around or not, and we can also not say that the matter is not going to be heard today. So that's what we have for now, Brenda. That is what the situation we are observing right now from the corridors of justice here at the Milimani Law Courts in this very